Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome back to Movie Files. This time around, I'm here to give you guys a movie review for the film Mission Impossible Fallout, which is the sixth film in this franchise, which is crazy because this franchise started 96 or 22 years ago, which is insane. So this film brings back the writer and director Christopher McQuarrie, which is very rare in this franchise. It's the first time they've had a director come back and helm a sequel. This film stars the great Tom Cruise. You have Henry Cavill, Rebecca Ferguson, Simon Pegg, Ving Rhames, Angela Bassett, Sean Harris. I mean, the cast is really great. So yeah, guys, I'm just going to jump into this review. I'm going to touch on some character moments I like, some positives as far as the action goes, and then some negatives, and then give you guys a score at the end of this video here. So like I said, this cast is great, so I'm going to start there as far as my positives. The characters of this film, all the characters in my opinion, were really well done as far as just having just really great moments. You know, Tom Cruise, I can't say it enough, guys. This guy gives it 110% in every single movie I've ever seen him in. Even if the movie isn't the greatest, even if his character may not be the greatest, you can just tell that Tom Cruise is giving it everything he has to offer. And this is nothing short of another great performance by Tom Cruise playing the great character Ethan Hunt. I mean, you got your Bonds, you have your Jason Bournes, your John Wicks, you know, even Denzel and Equalizer, but Ethan Hunt has to be top tier, you know, Rushmore type. You know, his face is in the mountains. Like, he is one of the greatest characters in these type of spy action films, and he delivers it once again in this film. The stunts are ridiculous. You know, the comedic moments that we get with Ethan Hunt, the serious moments, he's a superhero, and not in the sense like, whereas like I think of like Fast and the Furious that had all these movies of the years, and now they're at the point where they're considered superheroes, but it's kind of in a corny way. But Ethan Hunt's a superhero in a good way. I mean, this man cannot be stopped, and I just really loved his performance. You know, like I say, Angela Bassett had a small role, but she was great. Rebecca Ferguson, even though I thought that her character was more interesting in Rogue Nation than in this one, she probably got more screen time in this film than even Rogue Nation. Now I think about it, but I preferred her storyline and what she had to do in the last one. But in this one, she's still great. I loved her performance. Simon Pegg is always awesome. Ving Rhames, he gets more to do than he's had in the previous film, so that's always great. I'm a big Ving Rhames fan, as well as Sean Harris, a returning villain. We've never really gotten that in the franchise. He's really great in this movie. But guys, the standout for me, and you've probably seen it or heard it in other reviews, but yes, Henry Cavill came to play the mustache, the whole Justice League thing. It was worth it, guys. Like, even though that movie it messed up the movie because the CGI with Superman was just horrible, it was worth it because he makes up for that in this film. Henry Cavill, as I believe his character's name was it August Walker, so great. The back and forth between him and Ethan Hunt, he's just relentless. I mean, he has some cool, funny moments, but some really badass fight sequences, as you guys can see in the trailer in the bathroom. But I think Henry Cavill, man, I mean, he's my personal, say what you will in the comment section, but he's my favorite Superman. I just love him as an actor. I love where his career is kind of gone. I remember seeing him, and I can't remember in that one movie where I first saw him in, but it was kind of like a Clash of the Titans movie, and seeing where he was there to where he's at now. I mean, just Henry Cavill was awesome. He steals this movie, guys. Like, he's the best. All the characters are great, but he really stood out for me. So going on some other positives here. The action, man. I mean, Christopher McQuarrie, Tom Cruise, and his whole crew, they come up with like the action in this film, guys. I don't want to I don't want to sell it short. Like, this action is unbelievable, and I mean, it just goes to the next level. You see it in a trailer with Tom Cruise hanging from a helicopter, doing a halo jump and all that. But there's one of the best car sequences I've ever seen in the movie. Like I said, that hand-to-hand combat, that scene in the bathroom is pretty badass, and it works really well. But there's some other acting sequences that I don't want to give away in this film that are just top notch. Again, if there's an award that can be given to the best action sequences or the best action film, I mean, this deserves a nomination at least. It was really well. The way that Christopher McQuarrie shot this film, like, this is probably one of the best looking Mission Impossible films. Not that the other ones look bad, but this was just on a scale of just like really beautiful scenery shots. The scene that they're jumping, the halo scene, and I don't want to give away what happens, but there's some really just beautiful shots, especially towards the end of the film where we have kind of a standoff with our main characters and the villains. So it was just really well done. The score was great, and I can't leave off the positive without saying Christopher McQuarrie handles action just beautifully. He's like one of the best action directors, as well as just storytellers and just constructing a movie, but just action in general. I mean, this guy just handles it with a 10 out of 10. So with that, those are my positives. This film has a lot of positives, but there were some negatives. And I have to say that Christopher McQuarrie, like I said, he directed this film, but he also wrote this film. And I think that's where, I would have gave this movie a little bit higher score, but the script was kind of convoluted and had not too many plot points as far as plot twists, I should say, but it was some moments where it's just like they were just like trying to throw in some storylines that I didn't necessarily think needed to be there. There were also some certain relationships, and I won't give which relationship I'm referring to, but there is a particular relationship in this film that I think didn't need to be in this movie, a particular threat line that I didn't think didn't need to be in there, and also too, not that the ending was terrible, but it was a little bit of a letdown. I'll just kind of leave it at that. But the biggest thing for me was, like I said, the script. I thought that the script could have been a little bit tighter. They could have cut out some fat off the meat, and just really kind of the storyline from the trailer is pretty straight narrow. But they throw in some plot points that really didn't work for me. So whereas I would have gave this film maybe a 4.5, 4.8 out of 5. The script kind of did leave a sour taste in my mouth. So with that, I'm giving this film a 3.8 out of 5, which is still a really good movie. And like I said, guys, the action is just breathtaking. The performances are really great. Christopher McQuarrie just handles action really well. But again, I thought the script was just one of the weaker scripts that I've seen in the franchise. Not to the degree of like Mission Impossible 2, but it wasn't the best compared to like Ghost Protocol and Rogue Nation, which those are like 1 and 2, like 1A, 1B. And then I would put this probably, if I were to rank these films, I would say this latest one is definitely top 3. And then I say I have the first one, and then the second one is my least favorite in this franchise. But again, guys, just kind of recapping this review, and I'll wrap up this video here. The action's great, the performances are great. Tom Cruise is awesome. The whole cast is really great. Rebecca Ferguson's back, and she does a great job. But Henry Cavill, man, that guy is just awesome. So the big question walking out of this movie for me was, will there be more in this franchise? And if you look at the history of this movie, it's either been 3. I think this was the shortest time between Rogue Nation. This was a 3-year gap. And most of the time it's like 4 to 5 years, and I think 6 years in one point. I'm thinking between 1 and 2. But if they are going to do another one, which I think they kind of left the door open to do more, I can only imagine with Tom Cruise, and if Christopher McQuarrie comes back, I would welcome it because he does a great job. But I can only imagine what they're thinking of for another movie. But I will say I think that this has room to make another movie, and I welcome it because I love these movies. And I would say, with my 3.8 out of 5, go check it out this weekend, guys. Let me know in the comments, what is your favorite Mission Impossible film, either before you see this movie, and definitely when you definitely see this film. Let me know where this ranks for you. So like this video, guys, share this video, definitely subscribe to our channel. We have some awesome content that we have on this page, and we have more and more coming for you guys. So definitely keep an eye out for that. So there you have it, guys. As always, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys in the next video.